How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now. And I really do appreciate you taking your time tuning in to today's video. For the longest time, the gun-hating Democrats at the city, state, and federal level have tried to take away your Second Amendment rights. And some have succeeded. Just to name a few: so-called assault weapons bans, large capacity magazine bans, red flag laws, and California limiting one firearm purchase per month, states requiring a background check to purchase ammo, and the list goes on and on and on. And they claim it's to stop gun violence. But if you look at all of these gun laws, very rarely do they affect the criminals. They affect the law-abiding citizens who want to be able to protect themselves, their family, and their property from the criminals. If there is an assault weapons ban in a certain state or city, do you really think that's going to stop a criminal from getting a so-called assault weapon if they want one? Of course not. Let's talk about a background check for purchasing ammo, as well as California limiting one gun purchase per month. Do you think a criminal is going to go to a gun shop and try to purchase ammo that requires a background check? Of course they're not. Does a criminal get their firearms at a gun shop or a gun show? Of course not. Most of the firearms that criminals have are either stolen or it's done by a straw purchaser. And if you don't know, that's a person who is not a convicted felon that will pass a background check. All the criminal does is give them a shopping list for firearms. And the same goes for purchasing ammunition if a background check is required for that. And like I said, all of those laws do nothing to stop violent criminals from getting what they want, but it affects the law-abiding citizens. I've also read for the next couple of months, before the Republicans take over in Congress, and of course Donald takes over president, but also in states where Republicans will have the majority, the Democrats are going to try to push through as much gun control they can in the next couple of months. And now here's a new one that I don't think I've ever heard of from a Democrat lawmaker. He wants to limit the number of firearms you have in your collection. That's right, you heard it correctly. First, let me tell you about a guy. His name is Valdemar Archuleta, and he ran for the U.S. House out of one of the districts in Colorado. But unfortunately, he lost big time. He only received about 20% of the vote, and the Democrat running against him got almost 80% of the vote. He put out a message on X on November 13th, saying he was in a meeting discussing gun violence. And I'm going to put up the post on the screen so you guys can see it for yourself. Colorado legislative heads up. At a meeting discussing gun violence, state legislator Steven Woodrow said the problem is some people have too many guns, and that the Second Amendment doesn't give you the right to have an armory. He said that he was working on legislation to define an armory and limit the number of firearms you may own. Have you guys heard of anything like this before? Because I haven't. And this guy Steven Woodrow, who is a Colorado state legislator, has lost his frickin' mind. What, if any, does gun violence have to do with how many firearms somebody owns? So if he's trying to say if someone owns 5 firearms, they're less likely to commit some sort of gun violence? But if somebody owns hundreds of firearms, that they're more likely to commit gun violence? It's absolutely absurd. And good luck trying to get it passed. But if pigs fly, and this unconstitutional law passes, how would it even pass the history and tradition test that you're supposed to put these gun laws through? Because I can guarantee you way back in the day that there's no law limiting the amount of firearms that people had. Also, this guy Steven Woodrow is one of the ones who's in favor of requiring liability insurance to own firearms as well. So everybody, we just got to hang on another couple of more months. And we'll say goodbye to a lot of these frickin' idiots that are not trying to do anything to stop gun violence. They're just trying to stop law-abiding citizens from owning firearms. And once they're out of office, they can go ahead and join somebody like CNN or MSNBC and others, and also write their books and get millions of dollars, which of course will have tons of lies and untruths in them as well. So let me know what you think about this new guy's plan for limiting the amount of firearms that you can own. Let me know in the comment section. And as always, I appreciate everybody supporting the channel. You guys continue to crush it by liking, sharing, and subscribing, and hitting those post notifications, and I really do appreciate it. And I invite everybody to come back and watch my next video.